My name is Ann Hatch, and I teach English at the Colorado Springs School. And the project I'm going to talk about focuses on the 6th graders here in our middle school. And it's a mystery unit that begins the morning they arrive to campus and find that there is a crime scene. And this year we had a faculty member's bike go missing, and the students had to become detectives. So we went down to the crime scene and they had to be keen observers. They had to look at the evidence and see what they could see, the clues. And they had to talk about whether something was, if it was a brown footprint, what kind of brown is it? Sandy brown, almond brown, or coffee brown? There are differences, and we can talk about adjectives in during that time as well, and just the importance of detail in their observations. Then we have the crime lab technicians from the science class take over. They analyze all the evidence of the scene, and then I have a journalist come in from the Gazette this year, and he talks to students about the role of journalists and how they have to be objective. They can't jump to conclusions. They cannot formally accuse a suspect of committing a crime without proper evidence. And so we talk about being objective and how to interview suspects. There are always faculty members at our school, unfortunately, but students do get to go and interview faculty members and ask them questions that demand more than a yes or no answer. And then they have to come back to the computer lab where they write an actual article for our Kodiak Times paper, which comes into existence for this project. And they become journalists, and I teach them how to include quotes in their writing. I talk about how you have to interview accurately, and we talk about including an interesting lead so that students and readers will be interested in finding out what's happening on our campus. By the end of the project, we have a formal accusation and arrest. We have a judge and a detective come. The culprit, the one who's been narrowed down to, is read his or her Miranda rights, actually been handcuffed and then released because it's usually a very honest misunderstanding. So all faculty have been cleared of any blame here at our school. And then the culminating activity is students writing their own mysteries, where they have to come up with their own suspects, their own clues, and their own problem to solve, which is a lot of fun. So what we really like about this activity is that it allows kids to be hands-on. They get to go and actually be detectives, they get to be crime lab technicians, they get to become journalists and then the author of their own mystery story, which is really exciting. They have a lot of fun doing this. They get to move around and ask questions, formally accuse a faculty member of committing a crime, and then they get to become their own writers, both in a journalist format and also a creative writing format through their mystery story, which some of them end up submitting to a local writing competition, which we've done very well in the last few years. So it's a great project. Kids love it. We've got some talented actors and actresses on our staff, and it's just a fun unit all around.